Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the NMU Board of Trustees to order, and I would ask Secretary Andrew to please take the roll.
Trustee Young?
Here, 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 here.
Trustee Hart? Here. Trustee Patante?
Here.
Trustee Sepinen.
I am here.
Trustee Holmquist.
Here.
Trustee LaPointe Dunham.
Here.
Trustee Lindberg.
Here.
Trustee Toutant.
Here.
All trustees are present. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Secretary Andrew. I'd like to ask for a motion to, in a second, to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The motion carries. We have a couple moments of silence. I'm going to walk up to the podium for the first one, then Dale Capella will do one after me. '23 tragedy that occurred on the Michigan State University campus when a shooter took the lives of 3 students and seriously wounded 5 others. This tragedy was felt across the state and the entire country and continues to impact all of us to this day. I would respectfully ask you to join me in a moment of silence to honor the NMU students that were killed or wounded in this tragedy. Thank you. And now I'd like to call on Dr. Capella for another moment of silence.
We request a moment of silence for computer science faculty member Dr. Jeffrey Horn, who passed away on February 5th. Jeff was known as a student-centered professor who insisted that they call him Jeff. Students appreciated his laid-back teaching style, his sense of humor, and his easy approachability. He was passionate about his classes, as well as being the advisor for the robotics club. He worked very closely with members of other departments, and he was most proud of his development of the resource fitness sharing algorithm, for which he received a patent in 2007. Please join me for a moment of silence for Dr. Jeffrey Horn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kaplan. Secretary Andrew, do we have any requests of individuals that would like to speak to address the board?
We do. Dr. Rick Mengen, if you'd like to come up.
Morning, Doctor. Thanks
Morning.
for being here.
Thank you. And I'll start off by saying I appreciate recognition of our colleague who recently passed away. I know we're on a tight schedule, and I really appreciate the opportunity to address you this morning, so I will try to stay within our 3 minutes. So first, President Tessman, congratulations and thank you for such a strong first year. A year plus, I suppose, if we're careful about when you really started. We've obviously heard some great news on enrollment, progress with facilities, community relations, and we're very encouraged by your positive messaging. And as faculty, we see your authentic care and desire for a strong institution to become an even stronger community. Now, in general, speaking on behalf of our faculty, not much has changed since we last spoke, which was back in December, and some of you more recently than that. But in general, faculty morale is still pretty low. People are still doing more for what is effectively less and less. So this is nothing new. But it's the reality of our situation. So as you know, we have a lot of great things happening within the NMU community. We've got faculty and staff that are working tirelessly to provide so much for our community. We hear the words of appreciation from you and our administration. We hear about investing in our people, in the sustainability effort, a push for an overall well-being, and praise for all of the wonderful opportunities and experiences that we provide for our students, which is the reason we're all here. Without compensation that at a bare minimum keeps up with inflation, we faculty and staff cannot sustain working here and continue to provide these wonderful opportunities for our students. The quality of education, the quality experiences, the research opportunities, the internships, the training for their future, and so on and so on. Their future is our future as well, in this community and our broader community. Faculty working conditions are very much student learning conditions. Being worn out, struggling to make ends meet, and being told we're appreciated without the action to substantiate it is not sustainable for us, for our programs, and ultimately our students. No doubt, our new president has been doing a fantastic job and deserves appropriate compensation and appropriate increases, along with other administrators and faculty and staff. I'm sure that our president appreciates the investment in him. We look forward to seeing how investment in our people, the world-class faculty and staff that are doing such great work for our community, as described by our administration, translates from the talking points we keep hearing to the hard reality of our upcoming wage reopener. Thank you. I look forward to continue to work cooperatively with mutual respect. We are in this together for a stronger community. And I must say that, forgive me for my fairly abrupt exit in what will be about 40 minutes, if not sooner. I, as an internationally recognized scholar in the semiconductor physics world, have a group of enthusiastic physics majors that are expecting me in class at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Okay, let's move on to agenda item 6, which is the Hardin Hall renovation. And at this time, call on Vice President Gavin Leach for this part of the agenda.
Thank you, Chair Young. On the Hardin Hall project, we had a previously approved budget at $32.7 million to move forward on the project. We've begun minor demolition on the project now. We have libraries moved out, and we've finally received final bidding prices on the actual construction component of the project. And initially, when it went out, it was quite a bit higher than the original estimated budget by the construction manager. We did rebid some packages, changed some of the scope to try to bring that back down a bit from about 39 million to, and we were able to get that down to about $36.975 million. So at this point, to move fully forward on the project, we would need additional approval of $4.275 million on the project, and I would need a motion from the board to be able to move forward on that.
Thank you, Kevin. Is there a motion?
I have a motion. I'd like to move that the NMU Board of Trustees approve additional funding of $4.275 for the Hardin Hall renovation project as presented.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Is there discussion?
I should have put the million on the end of that. 4.275 could be anything. So, yeah. First of all, I'd just like to thank Vice President Leach, understanding and appreciating, the IDA costs and trying to work to get that down. But understandably, with rising labor costs and things of that nature, appreciate your efforts there.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Sorry. Seeing none, those in favor of the motion will vote aye.
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 Those opposed? The motion carries. And Gavin, you can stay up there because I think you're also doing the
Next
item
topic,
was
yeah.
academic labs. So
Next one is the Science Complex Research and Teaching Labs Edition. We had previously approved $550,000 for architectural and work and hiring construction manager for cost estimating and project design. We did just recently go out for bidding, and we received the final bids just this past week. That dollar amount came in at $14,620,000 for the project. We had originally estimated $11.7 million. But we feel this is right in line with the way the market is right now on construction costs. So to move forward on the project, we would need approval for an additional for a full project of $14,070,000 in addition to the $550,000. So
Is there a
So-
motion?
so it'd be 14. Total project would be $14,620,000. Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin. Is there a motion?
I move that the NMU Board of Trustees approve the construction of the Science Complex Research and Teaching Labs project in the amount of 70,000?
620.
620 as presented. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Gibbon. Okay, we'll move on to item 8 on our agenda, which is President Tessman's evaluation and compensation. And I will call on Vice Chair Hart to lead that discussion.
Good, thank you, Chair Young. As Dr. Mengen mentioned, this is the one-year anniversary of having President Tessman on campus. In recognition of that, I would like to move that the Board of Trustees approve the following compensation for President Tessman. It would be a 2% increase in base salary, consistent with the increase approved for our non-represented NMU employees, which occurred back in July 1st, 2023, and this would be a retroactive increase.
That's in the form of a motion. You're making that
Yes.
the 2%? Okay. Do I have a second for that motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any discussion?
I'd like to just make a few comments, and it was a great segue from Dr. Mengen, kind of leading into some of the really positive, wonderful things that we've seen in the past year on campus. Specifically when we look at our enrollment numbers, when we look at our retention numbers, we're seeing really positive headwinds. In addition to that, it's very difficult to go unnoticed. The relationships and outreach that's been built, and in many cases, reestablished across a lot of the different bases across campus, faculty, students, board relations, et cetera. So I was very excited to be able to make this motion today. Just a little bit of context and history. This is typically a discussion that will occur with the academic calendar year, due to the fact that we weren't able to get you on board until February of last year. I think we were a little behind in the calendar. Therefore, at the time when we would normally discuss this in the July 2023 timeframe, we pushed that out a little bit to wait in recognition of this 1 year. So.
Any other comments or discussion? I would just echo what Vice Chair Hart says. I think that Brock hit the ground running here, and it's been just a little over a year, and I think we're all real pleased with a lot of the energy and progress that we've made in that short period of time. So, thank you. Okay, I will call for a vote on the motion now. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Now I'll ask President Tessman to announce our informal session calendar.
Thank you, Chair Young. The NMU Board of Trustees will hold a closed session in conjunction with the Thursday, Friday, May 2nd and May 3rd, 2024 meetings of the board.
Okay, and we don't need a motion or anything like that. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go to the podium for item 10, which is a special recognition for Dr. Kapla. Dale, I won't make you come up here and stand while I'm saying all these wonderful things about you, but I do want you to come up in a few minutes when we get done. And I should also point out, when this board meeting is over, if I could ask the board and Brock to gather for a quick picture with Dale before we all leave. So we don't want to try and disrupt the meeting and do it now, but I want to do it right after. So, Dale stepped into the interim provost and vice president for academic affairs position in October of 21 and has worked diligently to ensure the highest support of NMU's academic areas. As interim provost, when COVID was at its height, Dale was instrumental in assisting NMU to navigate the pandemic, especially regarding faculty and classroom issues. Dale has addressed emerging innovation head-on, creating task forces to study uses and impact of new technologies, such as artificial intelligence, and new teaching styles, such as high-flex courses. Dale played a key role in the development and implementation of NMU's well-being initiative. He helped support the new well-being director position, which is now the assistant vice president for well-being, and assisted with the development of the well-being team that is now in place here at Northern. And just to go off script for a second, it seems like every time I talk to Dale, I find out something new and interesting about his life as a person outside of all this. And I learned that he raises sheep, and has a real passion for that. He also does like really extreme sports stuff, like climbs mountains with just like not much wear, not much outerwear. You just kind of, and you sleep in cold temperatures, and you swim in the ocean. You swim in Lake Superior on a day like today, which is really amazing. He's also a wine connoisseur, which I found that out one day. We were walking in the rain over to the Whitman building for some meetings. So there's a lot of other things that many people here know about Dale that go beyond the just the small things I've just mentioned. But Dale, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank you for your leadership and your professionalism. And if you'd come on up, we got a little memento or token of our appreciation, which is the Wildcat statue, and signed by all of the board members and Brock. And it says, presented by the NMU Board of Trustees and President Tessman, February 16th, 2024.
Thank you, Steve.
And in the spirit of recognition, I would also like to recognize Ashley Higginson. Ashley, our attorney and counselor at law with Miller Canfield, was recognized with a Top 5 Under 35 award by the Ingham County Bar Association at the Ingham County Bar Association's annual Barristers' Night on Thursday, March 14th. The recipients of this award are recognized for their talents, skills, professionalism, and civility in the practice of law. So when we got that announcement, it certainly was wonderful to hear, but also not surprising at all. So congratulations, Ashley, on a much-deserved reward.
Yay. Yay. Thank you, Vice Chair Hart, for that recognition, which is a very important one, and congratulations, Ashley, for that. We are now down to the good of the order, and Kathy, you have to give me a gold star and the board for keeping on track here, okay? So the good of the order, as everybody knows, is our opportunity to kind of say whatever we want at the end of the meeting, and we do it by order of seniority. And we start with Alexis Hart.
Thank you, Chair Young. I'll keep it brief. I was very excited this morning to hear from our new Vice President, DEI&B, Sean Reese. We were very, very excited to have you aboard. And again, just to reiterate, just how wonderful it's been, Brock, having you on board for the past year. It's amazing the things that have been accomplished, and thank you, Lisa. In such a short amount of time, I can only imagine what will happen and transpire over the next 6 months, year, and for years to come. So, thank you.
Trustee Fatante.
Yeah, I really wasn't going to say anything because it's a shorter meeting, but I want to say for the year that President Tessman has been here, I'm just impressed, thankful. It's been a great year, and I know we're going to have so much more to come. And then just one other thing, I was just so happy to meet Sean Reese today at breakfast and hear her speak, and I just can see her just getting off the ground and flying, because she is, I'm just very excited about her being here.
Thank you. Trustee Sepinen.
Thank you, Chair Young. Kind of reiterating what's been said, it's a great time to be a board member at Northern Michigan University. The hires we made in the last year and right on to the present have been phenomenal. I think the job that the president, his team, and faculty are doing here on campus and staff is just great. We are really on the upswing, and it's, like I say, a really good time to be a board member.
Thank you. Trustee Holmquist.
Good morning. Of course, I could echo everything that my fellow trustees said as well. It's been an amazing year, and I feel really honored to be a part of this board and work with the university. I think in addition to that, I just wanted to highlight the exciting work we did yesterday with students and starting to talk about our mission and our vision statement, which I think really works closely with all of the new exciting work and hires, as you mentioned, Trustee Sepinen, and really just excited to see the direction that the university is going. So that's all I have this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee LaPointe Dunham.
Sure. So I got to go back to my hotel room and just really reflect on yesterday's tour of the Health and Human Performance. That's where I graduated from. I have my undergrad and then my master's degree in exercise science. And you know, while I don't use that in the day-to-day as a CEO now, but I do, it's added value to my life because I know how to research, I know how to look at data, I know how to analyze data, and I still use my senior project of a six-week strength and conditioning program with my middle school athletes. So, I mean, I just got to reflect and think how that opportunity changed my life. I owe my life to that program and the faculty there. So some shout-outs I want to give are to Dr. Jobert, Dr. Maggie Moore, Dr. Matt Kilgris, who I actually graduated with, and then Dr. Drum and Dr. Jensen and Dr. Watts. So, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Lindberg.
Well, I don't know if I have much to add from what everyone else has said, but as a community member and someone who lives here in the community, I get on the campus fairly often, and I'm continually amazed at the programs that I see here and at the positive energy that is just everywhere on this campus. And I will echo what my colleague Greg said about, you know, it's a great time to be on the Board of Trustees at Northern Michigan University, and a very enjoyable experience.
Thank you. Trustee Toutant.
All right, being the last voice that stands in the way of end of this formal session, I'll keep it brief, but I'd like to echo certainly all the comments, and very grateful and humbled to be a part of this. It's the end of some of our first year of being a trustee, and what a learning curve that is. Again, when we go behind the scenes to see all the hard work that everyone's doing to make this university great, it's just wonderful to see. And I just think there's a lot of pride in the academic and student experience and what this university does. And what's great about our sessions every time is that we get to see that in action. It's a showcase of a lot of the powerful things that are happening, but also to tackle some of the challenges too that are out there. So it's really an uplifting experience, and this is just another one of those examples. So I certainly echo all of your sentiment and comments. So thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Toutant. And I would just add a couple of items. You know, I was thinking about the special recognition for Dale, and you think back how things happen in your life, and you look back on it and go, wow, that all turned out really well. And you think back of what we went through to change administration. We had Kerry Schuling step up and serve as our interim president and then president. We had Dale step up to serve as our provost on an interim basis. Then we also had Rick Comley. Rick stepped up to fill our AD's position. And you look at those synergies that all those people brought and how they all brought us to where we are today. It's really amazing, and we have a lot to be appreciative of and thankful of, not just Dale, but Kerry and Rick and many others that have stepped in to fill some shoes too. And just finally, on this award that Ashley got, our legal counsel, I'm from Lansing, and I mentioned this to her, but you know, they had a list of the past recipients of this award that she got, and it's a pretty who's who of pretty good attorneys and lawyers in the Lansing area. So it's a major award, as they say in the movie. But anyways, with that, I would just remind everybody if we can take 2 minutes and get that picture with Dale over here before we break up. And we will start at 9:40 promptly, right, Kathy, because that's a Zoom? Back here in this room at 9:40. So, if there's no further business to come before the board, I adjourn this meeting.